So I'll give you a bit of a rundown on what we got in here, or what I went with, should I say. We have the full Enerdrive 200 amp hour lithium setup. We have the Cymarine, which basically, you know, gives us an idea of exactly what's going on throughout the whole system. My experience over the years and in the past has just been a couple of batteries wired up with a fridge, and it's usually day one or day two when you're at the beach and your fridge is not working and you've got no idea what's going on, and it's not till you get home and suss out what's happened. Usually end up in a low battery, but yeah, we got this, which just tells us absolutely everything about the system. There's an iPhone app that can tell me everything that this can't, and more. Also, like what I'm getting in off the roof. Like, we've got 250 watt solar panels on the roof, and tells me what I'm getting, tells me what my accessories are drawing, like my lights, things like that. It also tells me what my fridges and freezers are drawing on the other side. It's got fridge temperatures. We've got pitch and roll, so I mean, that's not going to be big for everyone, but for us, with, you know, sleeping up top, if we're on a bit of an angle down here, we're on a pretty big angle by the time we're up there, so that gives us a rough idea whether we're on flat ground or not. Yeah, we've got the 2000 watt inverter, so basically running these appliances, no drama at all. We've got the power points up there, so we can also, you know, run a lead down to the kitchen, make a coffee instead of being on the carpet. We've got the microwave, which is a bit of a luxury, but we have no dramas with running that. We thought, you know, with having a freezer, having a microwave would be pretty sort of handy as well. We have the charge from the vehicle, so basically anytime we're motoring down the road, it's keeping the battery topped up as well as the solar from the roof. I didn't really have much of an idea on what, basically, when it comes to building drawers or, you know, building the car, I kind of, you know, quite confident, but in the past I've just not really, you know, the electrical side of things isn't really my thing. I know that we needed something pretty serious for this trip, just so we didn't have any dramas. So I sort of went to the boys at Battery World Rocklea and Enerdrive, and between the two of them, they sort of come up with a package that basically tailored to what we need, would work and keep us out of trouble. And we haven't had a great chance to use it yet, but for what we've seen so far is absolutely amazing.
Also, when we go camping, usually we've got no lights, so we've got generators and that sort of stuff. So now, like, we are lit up.
Yeah, we got
all the
lights
way around with all this power.
Lights and USBs and cigarette points absolutely everywhere. Yeah. We can run lights all around the awning. We got the lights on the tent too, so when the tent's up, we've got a couple of big spotlights that spread out over.
And a couple too around the fridge freezer.
Yeah, a couple over there near the pantry. Camping at the best of times is, you know, a torch on the head or a torch in your hand, and I mean, it's come a long way, and we're very we're very stoked to be able to, the simplicity of it, and yeah, how easy it is just amazing.
Yeah.
Just having the power to be able to run the inverter and the 240 appliances is just an absolute game changer. Like, for us, we'll be on the road every single day. Every time you pull in and grab a coffee, each 10, 12 bucks. Every time you pull over and cook up a feed, you know, buy a feed, it's, you know, 40 bucks for breakfast. Big thing with us is we got a freezer full of frozen meat. We got a fridge full of beer, milk. You know, we can make our own coffee. We can cook absolutely everything, which, you know, over a long distance of time is an absolute dramatic saving. Like, so this is Adam from Battery World Rocklea. He's the guy I sort of come to. Basically, I had no idea what I needed. I knew that I needed a shitload of power, and I knew I needed reliability, and a bit of get out of trouble if we needed it as well. So I sort of told Adam what we were doing and where we were going, and it's going to be times where we didn't have anyone around to help us, and he come up with a system. And yeah,
definitely. So look, what we looked at doing is basically we ask a few questions of everyone. What do we need to get out of this system? What's your ultimate goals? And with the Ultimate Cruiser, one of the biggest things was that reliability. So what we looked at was a pair of 90 amp hour AGMs under the bonnet. So they're a brand new product from Century. They are a dual purpose. So they are a deep cycling and starting battery. So what we've done was we set these guys up so that what we can do is we've got the heaps of power under bonnet, but we also have a an override feature where we can use a second battery to get the vehicle running if need be. So we can negate the need of the likes of jumper leads. We can get the vehicle running from a button on the dash, and away we go.
So I'm absolutely buzzing about this. We've had the stereo running for a few days and we've got a flat battery. I just flick that button, hit the key, start the car. Simple as that. No jumper leads, no jumper packs. We've always got that auxiliary battery there to get us out of strife. So basically, I knew I needed a lot of power. I had absolutely no idea how I was going to do it. So I went to Enerdrive and the boys designed me a system. And then basically it was on Adam to make it all work. It's no point, me buying a really good system and not having it installed properly. So from then on.
Yeah, we got involved. And what we've done is we work with the team at Enerdrive on this build as well. So you'll see there's a lot of things in here. When we look at the likes of our Cymarine monitoring, we've got our DC-DC charger, we have all our Blue Sea fuse system, Blue Sea switching, and then also with our Siga sockets, USBs, likes of that. But it's all well and good to have all that. One of the biggest things that I find from an installer point of view is working with the team from Enerdrive and actually building all this in a CAD program and making it all fit, having it CNC routed so that we can get such a nice install and that can be bolted in. That saves us a massive amount of time when it comes to building a system. There's a lot of work to make that look so good, and by having the right team and the right gear, it certainly makes a big difference for us, and you can tell by the end result. It looks extremely professional and it presents for what the product is, and it does a lot of justice. So one of my favourite things that I've seen come out in the last few months is this Cymarine monitoring. From an end user point of view, I really like this product. Us, from a technical point of view, we can get into it and understand everything, all the maths and all the jargon, but this product makes it extremely simple for the end user. When we open up the screen, we see simple things, like there's a time and date. Of course, when you're out camping, you might forget the date. But when we see likes of this is our solar DC-DC charge. So that's connected to the DC-DC charger up top there. That gives us our information of the power that's coming in from the solar and also from the alternator. We have our accessories which go through a shunt. We have our fridge and freezer which is on the other side of the vehicle. We know how many amps they're drawing, and we also have our house battery. So that gives us an indication of what's being drawn out, what's being put in at all times. That's our house battery. So in this case is a 200 amp hour lithium BTEC, which is mounted just under this, all tightly packed away. It's given us the full voltage of what the battery's currently sitting at and the state of charge, which is currently at 100%. So go through here. That gives us our fridge temperatures, freezer temperature. We have some temp sensors that run into the Cymarine, and we can use that all across the place. So fridges, freezers is a perfect example of where we can use that. There's some other really cool functions like water tank levels, all sorts of things we can put into this Cymarine monitoring to get the absolute most use out of it from a user point of view. We also have down here is our pitch and roll. So pitch and roll goes into this little device here, and what that helps us is to set up a flat working platform. So when we pull up on a campsite, we can then go through and we can get the pitch and roll of the vehicle. So we know that the vehicle's sitting nice and flat. When you're going to spend a night up there, it takes 10 minutes to get it nice and flat down the bottom. That just helps us to get there. A couple of other things that we've put into the system is the Enerdrive 2000 watt inverter. So you'll see that guy up there. Now from an installer point of view and from us, what we like to do is not just have a single power point on the end of an inverter, and often inverters aren't mounted in the friendliest of spots for the customer to get to. So what we've used is the Soft Connect 240 volt cabling, and it allows us to just throw a couple of extra power points across the vehicle for the customer. We've touched on likes of our inverter, our microwave, things like that make it really easy from a day-to-day perspective for the end user to look at this. But there's other things that we do install to make the entire system. We have likes of the 250 watt EnerDrive solar panels on the roof, which provide us with the power. They're a really good panel, they work well for us. They're coupled into our DC-DC charger, and we can see the power that comes in through those guys.
On a cloudy day.
Even on a cloudy day, but the rooftop tent in this circumstance lends us to a really good angle as well to the sun, so it works really well on this build. A couple of other things that we did go through and put in to make it good for Bob and Jen is likes of the LED lights. We've put in the water pumps, so they've got a high pressure pump, they've got a low pressure pump for the kitchen. They can clean their rig, they can run their shower, they can do everything, and that's all working off the power that we have from the lithium BTEC. It just provides us with so much power where we can continue to throw loads at this thing, and it doesn't stop. It loves it. Lighting inside, so for just for our lights, for accent lighting for in here. So when these guys pull up, they can literally throw the door up in the middle of the night, hit one switch, and we've got lighting across the whole vehicle. Now that does correspond to the other side of the rig as well. We've also got some lights up on top of the roof, and what we can see is we can light up the whole campsite with those as well. Another thing we worked on, so we've got these fridge lights, which are great, I love them, but from an installer's point of view, we have to do something with the power cable, guys. I've seen so many circumstances where they're just flapping around in the breeze, and we're just waiting for one of these nice sharp bits of metal to ruin everyone's day when you're out in the middle of nowhere and all of a sudden you cut one of these power leads in half and you've got no fridge, no freezer. So what we've done with this is we've used a bit of CNC cable track. So you'll see that there. So it runs through nice and sweet, and we can dictate where that is going to run forever for the life of the vehicle, how exactly that will run.
So all in all, I'm absolutely stoked. If you're keen to get in a bit of off-road touring or motorhome, whatever, go see the boys at EnerDrive, bring it down to Adam, let him go nuts. Thanks heaps, mate.
No worries. Thanks very much, Bobby.